Welcome to Subramani. I know I may sound very old, but for me it is easy to say back in our times. But honestly, when I started life as a broker, we were very clear that brokers were here to make money by doing a transaction. Whether it suited you, whether it was good from a tax point of view, should you churn, should you hold, that was left to the brain and thinking of the investor, right? Investor was not told, yes, I used to tell the investors, oh, you're already holding it for 14 months, you might as well wait for some time if you want to, or you might as well take a position in a different company and pay the short-term capital gains tax, right? Short-term was considered to be 3 years. So some of this could happen, but largely we encourage people to create HUF and AOP, Association of Persons, etc. But that we were an exception. We were some chartered accountants who also gave this kind of thing, but we were an exception. Largely, you did not confuse your chartered accountant with your broker. But today what has happened is the designations have changed. It's no longer a broker, right? Broker feels very insulting. So then there are other names, financial advisor, certified financial advisor. Believe me, this is a designation created by somebody. This is not a body which is giving it, right? Certified financial planner is a degree perhaps, but people can still call themselves financial planners. Nothing stops them from calling themselves financial planners. Wealth managers, asset advisors, right? So all these things, and of course the best among them becomes the managing director. Whatever be the designation outside, or whatever the visiting card that they give you, inside their organizations, they are called producers. Whether he could be your mutual fund agent or your life insurance agent, internally they are called producers. They are expected to produce revenue by selling products. They don't have wealth targets, they don't have any other targets, they have got sales targets, they have got to sell to you. And there is nothing which says that they should not sell toxic products. Obviously the burden is on you to know what you're buying, and I have seen managing directors and other CXO level people buying bad products and later on justifying why they thought it was a good product. They don't even think it is a bad product now, because if you bought and if you don't need a pension plan, if you don't need an insurance plan, there is no need for you to even talk to a life insurance company. But having bought it and having paid the premium and thinking it is a wealth product, it becomes very difficult for a newcomer to come and debunk that and say, no, sorry, this is a bad product. I have no clue why you bought it. You may have told me that you want to buy it, I don't know, but I think this is a shitty product. Nobody is going to give you that kind of advice, right? Nobody is really bothered. You've already put your money, you've been in it for 3, 5, 7, 10 years. You've already suffered it. So it's okay. You live with that. Now these designations are very confusing, but remember, when they give you a card, they are more into sales and service, right? So they can give you service provided they have done some sales to you. If you have kept a bank FD with her, or if you have opened another demat account with her, or you have opened a minor account or your parents account or something like that, then he or she is interested in talking to you. If you think that your relationship manager is there to give you service, you're badly mistaken. That's not their job. In fact, I would want to quote from a Wells Fargo study. Wells Fargo was prosecuted by SEC, and SEC came to some amazing conclusions. So I'll just read out from the SEC. I think this is from the SEC order. So how are they compensated? How are these producers compensated? These producers are compensated, of course, by a commission, which is fair enough, but then everybody gets the same amount of commission, because today you are not allowed to discriminate on the basis of production, right? So what do? You create circles, chairman circle, managing director circle, branch manager circle, whatever you want to call it. Of course, the chairman circle will go for a vacation abroad. These abroad vacations have not stopped in one part of the industry. It has stopped in the mutual fund industry. It has not stopped in the financial services industry as a whole, because insurance companies still can take their people abroad. So obviously the best would go to maybe the US, and US, Europe from India cost remains more or less same. The second rung would go to maybe Kazakhstan or Egypt or something like that, and the third rung will go to say Goa, or maybe they will hold it in Bombay, getting people to fly in from all over the country, right? So these are some of the the circles, the recognition circles which are created for them. But more importantly, of course, these lines keep blurring how much of cash and what to do, and some gift cards and all those things will keep happening, but that's not the purpose here. The purpose here is actually to read out from the SEC's prosecution, I think, which was quoted by Wall Street Journal. Subscribing to Wall Street Journal gives you some of these pleasures, saying Wells Fargo often mandated client quotas for riskier alternative investments such as private equity and hedge funds, regardless of whether they were appropriate. We see this happening, at least I see this happening. People who have say 10-15 crores in mutual funds are considered to be perfect candidates for putting money in private equity, in AIF, etc. In fact, if you have more than 2.5 crores and the relationship manager has a target for PMS, very good chance that they will address you for PMS. If you have 5 crores, you are a sitting duck for AIF. And in AIF, they will give you products like AIF for real estate or AIF with private equity. Believe me, a person with 5 crores cannot afford to put 1 crore in a fund with limited liquidity, but these things do happen. And says advisors had goals of $64,000. Don't think of it as a very small figure or as a big figure. These figures are old. I think this is 2015 or 2016 when the prosecution of Wells Fargo happened. 2015 means 10 years back. And for converting, multiplied by 30 and not by 80, because the purchasing power parity means multiplying by 30. So advisors had goals of $64,000 in annual product sales for private bank clients, or those with assets above $2.5 million on the investment fiduciary services platform. If they didn't fit the target, they were just removed from the top branches. Then you don't get access to some of the best things that the company does, right? So among the employees, 2015 year became the year of the annuity. So I think this whole exercise must have been 2017 or 2016 or 17, because advisors would push clients into these higher fee products to meet their revenue targets. Remember, salespeople have revenue targets, not just sales targets. They have to, ULIP will give them more weightage than if you put money in, say, a liquid fund. Some advisors would redeem clients from annuities that had large surrender charges and place them with another product with annual fees of 1.5 to 1.5%, right? This is happening every day in brokerage firms across the country in the USA, which is supposed to be the place where SEC has got fantastic regulation. If that is happening in the US, do you think it's going to be much better in India? No, AIF and PMS are pushed. They are sold. Whether it suits you, whether you need it, is something which you have to answer. There is nobody going to give you advice. There is no financial advisor advising you on AIF and PMS services, right? So then they did one more survey. I think the CFA Institute did a survey, and they said only 28% of respondents reports staying in the investment to help clients. They are not here to help clients. They are here to make money by selling products. Nothing wrong with that. You should know that that is what they do. When they masquerade as advisors, they are not advisors. Another 36% believe that acting in the client's best interest is actually taking a career risk. Why would a relationship manager take a career risk and sell a very good product for you? I mean, you are not going to incentivize them by saying, thank you for selling me a term insurance, here is 5,000 rupees. That's not going to happen. It is easier for him or her to make 5,000 or 25,000 depending on the size of the ULIP that they sell you, right? So fair enough. Shouldn't clients or investors understand plain language description as incentive structures? I don't know. I really don't know what all you should do. But if you ask me, and if you find a product where they ask you to come to a very expensive restaurant, the fees is high, they ask you to come with a checkbook with your family and expect you to sign then and there, then you've got a very smart boy or girl trying to pitch to you, and it's very complicated, and you cannot explain it to your kid who says, what return will you get in this, and you don't even know the formula of you will get. Believe me, you're getting conned, you're being conned, you're in the process. If your ego does not permit you to come out of a 5-star hotel after having a free meal, you've already been sucked into a bad product which you do not need. All the best. Thank you.